3:33 on the clock as I'm saying this, but I'm in this new place, okay, and I've now posted about it. I've been kind of keeping quiet about like my story and everything that's been going on and what I decided to do, but I'm in this new state. And everyone's just been so nice. Actually, I'm traveling on my Sun and Jupiter line right now, so I wanted to see how that was going to be. And everyone's just been so fucking kind to me. They've been so nice. The nature is absolutely breathtaking. I'm seeing so many beautiful animals. Just everything has been working in my favor. And of course it is. And of course it will be. And of course it will continue to do so. But for some reason, I've noticed like subconsciously that I have been waiting for the other shoe to drop. Every time I meet somebody new here, I'm just like, oh my God, like, are they going to be racist? Are they going to be prejudiced? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to be rude? You know, like, how is this going to be? You know, what's going to happen from here? And I've just been waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'm just thinking, like, but why though? I feel like I have to train my mind to start waiting for it to only get better and better. Because why the fuck not? You know, a lot of the times how we grew up, you know, and what we were taught, it's like we're always waiting for something negative to happen. And you even hear it in like when people are like angry or frustrated and they're just like, it's always one thing after another. Just always one thing after another. If it's not this, then it's that. You know, and they always say those types of things, but why don't we just wait for everything to get better and better? And I don't mean actually being in the waiting period, right? We don't want to be in the waiting period. We don't need to actually wait for anything. Manifestation is instant. But I mean, assuming. Why don't we just assume that everything is going to get better and better? Because why not? If things can get worse, if things can take a wrong turn, if things can be so frustrating and so irritating, if things can be like that, and it's so easy for it to be like that, then of course it's so easy for things to actually just magically work out, for miracles to always happen, for everyone to always be kind and nice. And I'm not saying that everyone on this earth is always going to be kind and nice, right? We always have to have that duality. But I do mean that we don't have to run across those people. I do mean that we can attract the kinds of people that we want to be around. And we can attract the kind of environment that we want to be in. And we don't have to constantly attract negative things towards us if that's not truly what we desire. But it's not what we desire. It's just what we're used to. And so we're constantly telling ourselves, okay, this is something that we're used to. We're used to the chaos. We're used to things being negative. And so it's just going to be this way. And it's not going to change. And when I get to this new place, even if it's totally different from where I just came from, I'm still going to expect things to be negative, or for things to just turn out wrong, you know, or for things to just not go my way. But I don't have to think like that. In fact, everything has been going my way, and everything has been so beautiful and kind to me simply because that's the kind of things that I have been attracting lately. Simply because I have actually been doing the work on myself to really focus. I've actually been doing hella work on my mental, on my aura, on my energy field, so that I don't attract the same things. I have actually been breaking hella cords with negative people and negative thoughts and negative beliefs so that I don't have to be around those same things. So why am I so surprised that what I have been praying for, wishing for, and working on is now happening in my reality? Why am I still waiting for something else to just like come up or pop up? Why am I still waiting for something? Because I have been trained to think that way. So now, my focus is on how can I go ahead and expect and continue to wait for beautiful things to happen, and only beautiful things, because this is my reality. It is my world. You know that phrase, right? It's your world. We're all just living in it. I feel like that's true for absolutely everyone on this earth, right? So it is my world. It is my reality. I can make absolutely anything happen in my reality that I want to. And if I see stories of people making anything happen within their reality and being master manifestors and just going through life through a lucky streak that just never ends, well, of course that can happen to me, because why not? What's different about them and me? What's different? What exactly is different within our DNA? What exactly is different within our skin? What exactly is different within our bodies? Are we not still human beings? And that same thing goes for celebrities or anyone with fame or fortune or anything, right, that you see. What's the difference? Absolutely nothing. We have always been rich. Okay? We have always been like in favor. Like the universe has always been working in our favor. God has always been working in our favor every step of the way. Always, all the time. That's how we got here. That's how we're still here. That's how we're still alive and breathing. Because everything has always been working in our favor. And if you're thinking right now that, well, it hasn't really been working out the way that I want it to, well then, okay, let's change that. Because it is your world and it is your reality. So we do have the power to change that. We do have the power to turn the wheel into our favor the way that we want it to. So far, if it hasn't been going in your favor, if that's what you think, then God has just been protecting you this entire time. But you still have the power, and that's why you're listening to this right now, because you know that you have the power, whether your ego knows that or your soul knows it. You know that you have the power to change anything in your reality. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the state that you are right now. Everything is always happening for a reason. And I'll say it again, everything is always happening in our favor. By the time you get to where you truly want to be, and I feel like that should always be anywhere that you're at, because at the end of the day, you are the home, you are the foundation, you are the creation, you are where everything is going to come from. Your reality comes from you. Your imagination comes from you. Everything that you want, everything that you're surrounded by, everything that you're attracting comes from you. You are the foundation, the base of all things. So there's no way and no reason why you can't curate a reality of your own that you actually desire and want. And that's why at this time, instead of sitting there and waiting for the negative to happen, instead of sitting there and waiting for the other shoe to drop, let's assume and be in the mindset that this, where we are right now, is only going to get better and better. And you know what? It's so funny because people used to always say those kinds of things like, it'll get better, right? It'll get better. Just wait and it'll get better. And I didn't believe that at the time. I didn't believe that all those years ago. And it actually wasn't even that long ago or that many years ago that I didn't believe that. I want to say maybe 2 years at the most in which I did not believe that reality. I was going through the most. I was in trigger warning, abusive relationship after abusive relationship. I grew up in an abusive family, an abusive household. I was constantly getting my ass handed to me by just everything and everyone. I was in a woe is me mindset. I legit hated myself. I didn't even think I was beautiful or pretty, even with makeup, much less without makeup. Right? It actually took my last relationship that I was in to show me how beautiful I was, just natural. And even though that was an abusive relationship, I cannot deny all of the things that I have learned from that person, from that being. I cannot deny all of the things I've learned about myself and all of the ways that I have grown. In every relationship, in every friendship, in every situation that I have been in, I cannot deny how much I have grown. But there was a point in which I did not believe that. But now, where I'm at, and I feel like there's definitely like a story time coming, but now where I'm at, I don't deal with those kinds of relationships anymore. I don't allow it in my life. I don't deal with those kinds of friendships anymore, or those kinds of people that are so untrustworthy. Matter of fact, the people who come across to me are so authentic within themselves. They know how to shine their light, and they are not afraid of doing so. I stopped saying that I was poor. I stopped saying that I was broke. And the universe continued to show me how rich I was by showing me that in every circumstance, and I'm not saying that I was no longer in any circumstance where I didn't have it or I was struggling to make ends meet. But the funny thing is that when those things happened, when those things occurred, the universe showed me, oh, you're not broke. You're not poor. So let's show you how good it can get. Let me show you that even in these times where you're struggling to make ends meet, or you're struggling to figure out how this is going to work, let me show you how it's going to work, because it's not up to you to know how. And so every single time, without fail, something happened in which I was always taken care of. Financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. In every single way, in every single corner and crevice of my life, the universe, God, showed me how taken care of I was. I started to say that I was spoiled, that I had always been privileged. And the universe started to show me that in every way, in the people that I met, in the places that I started to be in the opportunities that started coming my way, and I started to say yes to them. Because prior, I had only been saying no to all of the things that I truly desired, just because someone around me that did not actually fit into my reality was showing me that I needed to take their path, was showing me that I needed to follow them down whichever way, whichever road they were going. And it was always the wrong road. Because as humans, we each have our own individual path. We can only take the road that belongs to us. When we go down somebody else's road, you know what? And I actually have a story for this. When I was young, maybe about, I want to say like 4, right? I was walking down the hallway with my sister in our house. And I actually seen a piece of glass on the floor. It was a piece of glass from a broken teacup. It was clear. I seen it on the floor. I didn't see that it was pointing up. But I saw my sister, because she was walking in front of me, I saw her walk over the glass, and I saw that it did not hurt her. So I walked over the glass. And guess what? That whole entire piece of glass got stuck in my foot, and I had to wait hours for my mom to come home to pull it out. You can imagine how much that hurt. Both the waiting period and the pull-out session. But in that same way, if we walk down somebody else's path, it'll be so clear for them. They'll be clearing all the trees, all the leaves, whatever, all the branches. It'll be so clear for them. But the second that we try to go, we're getting smacked in the face with leaves. We're getting smacked in the face with branches. We're tripping over things. All kinds of things are coming out of the woodwork, and it's so unclear for us to even path. All of a sudden, a fog starts to come, and it refuses to lift for us to see. That is how it feels when you are walking someone else's path. Now, I don't know how I got there, but I know that that was for a reason. The point that I am trying to make today is that we can only choose a life for ourselves, but we have that choice to be able to do so. If we continue following down the path and not having the mindset of what we truly love, what we truly want to do, what is calling us, our soul, and allowing ourselves to remove all of the thoughts, mindsets, and beliefs of everyone else, once we go down our path, it is clear. The way is clear, and the way will always be clear. And you will see how much the universe is working for you in your favor. You just need to be following your path. Thank you.